Okay, guys, I want to walk you through what do we mean by evaluating a function when we're given in function notation. And this is admittedly something that's probably pretty easy, and you probably 88% understand it. So as we go through this video, I'm going to be emphasizing certain, like maybe potentially conceptual gaps you may have. But that's because I'm looking ahead and I want to try to simplify some things later that may look confusing if we don't have everything patched together, okay? So first, if I'm given this function f of x equals x squared plus 12x minus 10, and I ask you to evaluate that for x equals 3. So the way I would write that is, I said x equals 3. X equals negative 3. So f evaluated at this particular number, I'm going to put it in green, that number is my x value. So I'm evaluating this function named f at the value when x equals negative 3. So that means I'm going to go to the original function, and everywhere there's an x, I'm going to replace that with a negative 3. So I'm building my skeleton right here. And inside those parentheses, oops, forgot my squaring. Everywhere I've got parentheses was where I had an x. So here and here. And now I'm just going to simply replace that x with negative 3. Okay, so then on the right side, all we're going to do is simplify as much as we can. So order of operations, I'm going to take care of my squaring first. I'm going to do my multiplication, and then I'll worry about all that adding and subtracting at the end. So we all recall that negative 3 squared is positive 9. 12 times negative 3 is minus 36, minus that 10. And according to the magic of technology, beep boop bobble beep bob beep, I'm getting negative 37. All right, full disclosure, I kind of did that in my head, so I might be wrong. I'm going to be embarrassed if I'm wrong, but I don't want to check it out anyway. So that's not the point. The point here is, what does it mean that I get negative 37? Well, if I follow my equal signs, negative 37 is equivalent to this, which is equivalent to this, which is then therefore equivalent to this. So that means the negative 37 I have there is what f of negative 3 equals. So here's where we want to read this carefully. When I say f of negative 3 equals negative 37, then that means the function named f evaluated for the x value of negative 3, let's make it green. That's my x value equals negative 37. That negative 37, that is my y value, okay? So one of the things hopefully you've picked up along the way is right here, this notation does not mean f times negative 3. Usually, or often when we see something right next to parentheses, we assume that's multiplication. That's not the case. So here, I don't divide by negative 3 to solve for f or anything like that. What instead I have is a relationship between two variables. That's what the function is. And I'm finding that when x equals negative 3, y equals negative 37. Okay, so let's do the same thing, but this time let's do it for f of 0. So f of 0, you know what? Let me color coordinate. I'm just going to let you see the magic. I'm going to erase. I'm going to go back. I'm going to change it to green. F of 0 equals, this is what my function does to inputs. It squares things, and then it adds to that 12 times that input, and then it subtracts 10. So this time, what number am I plugging in? I'm plugging in 0, there, there. And so on the right-hand side, I'm just going to evaluate using my order of operations. 0 squared is 0, plus 12 times 0 is 0, minus 10, and that equals, of course, negative 10. So what does this mean? F of 0 equals negative 10. So in this relationship between x's and y's, when x equals 0, y equals negative 10. If we were thinking about graphs, then this would be equivalent to the ordered pair 0, negative 10. That's my x value, that's my y value. That's the point that would be on that graph of that function. Likewise, up here, if I were to think about this as an ordered pair, this pairs the x value negative 3 with the y value negative 37. That would be another point that's on the function on the graph of this function here. Okay? So main take home though is when we evaluate a function, then we are plugging in an input, and on the right side we are then simplifying as much as possible. All right? See you on the next video.